Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get ourselves situated here for a bit, and then we can kind of get this party started off right. So, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the newsroom, and welcome to the Goutopia News Network, your unreliable source of DSP News, or for DSP News. This is the Snort Report, brought to you by SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company ever. Let's go. So, hopefully you guys are doing all right. As I continue my campaign of going through our backlog here, we will be speaking on DSP speaks on his Payday problems with Kick, which is kind of funny because he only got partnered May 15th. No, sorry, April 16th. He got partnered. Less than a month later, he's already dealing with problems, which only makes sense. it only is it's all par for the course. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go into my favorite segment. Hopefully, your favorite segment as well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my TED Talk. So, DSP having problems with his pay or with the payment system over there on Kick is kind of few and far between. In that, I believe he's somehow trying to scam the system in some type of way, and then he's trying to plead ignorance, like he doesn't know what's going on, whatever, or he doesn't actually have a full grasp on what they're doing over there and how he should be paid out or how it's calculated or whatever. And in a lot of ways, they wouldn't tell him some of that front facing anyway, because if you had a complete in and out understanding on how, let's say, for example, the ads work on YouTube, you might be able to manipulate the system. It can be said for anything, to be honest with you. So there's that. On top of that, yet again, DSP's a scumbag, so he's trying to figure out a way to get around or get over on the system itself with dwindling viewership, as well as gifted memberships probably starting to lack a little bit. He's going to do whatever he can to try to get over. This is just another part of it. But anyway, could be fun either which way. So we'll see what's what. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And let's see where we're at with this. So let's choose our settings here. There we go. And let's choose our video in question. It should be brought to us by Raw Phil, I'm pretty sure. Big ups to Diggs.
For tomorrow.
There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and read out the title. Make sure that we're all in play here. I think we're good. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Big ups to Raw Phil and big ups to Diggs. And let's see here. We are talking about, here we go. Darksydephil speaks on Payday problems with Kick. This is from May 15th of 2025. Womp, 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 womp. And without further ado, I don't smell no bacon cooking. So let's go. Let's see if we can approach that. I need to get an insert for that, to be honest with you. I should have been done that. Here we go.
For tomorrow. Haven't played classic fighting games in a long time now. So to jump into a new collection should be exciting. And, everyone will be jumping in for day one to see how it plays online. And, people will be trying out different characters and strategies. And I'm down for that. It should be a good one. Okay. So the rest of this week, next couple of days are great. I hope that you'll join me for them. I just want to say thank you. You guys have been incredibly supportive this week.
Now, I'm not sure if this is, let's say this is in May. So I'm not sure if this is Marvel. Is this the Marvel collection or if this is CVS 2? Doesn't matter because he ain't gotten his ass blown out in both of them, especially recently. I'm recording this in August. So he's taken a pretty good beating in the CVS 2 collection, which is fantastic. Because the more that because he can't compete in the modern games, this is obvious. And so the more that he tries to lean on the older games, because a lot of the OGs are playing them as well, and he's just getting beat the fuck up and he can't defend himself. So all that knowledge and information, all this bullshit he keeps preaching about, he's not exhibiting it. And it's because he can't, because he doesn't have it. Just because you were around doesn't mean you know or you understand or you have a grasp upon it. But whatever, let DSP play his cards. Let him have his delusions. Let's continue.
We're now at 66 out of 70 goals hit for support already. And we just did DSP tries it the other day. So pretty wild the amount of support I'm getting, and I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you.
I'm really interested. I can't wait till this shit dries up. That DSP tries a scam, because that's what it is. It's a scam. But I think the peak of it, because I don't think we're there yet, is when he's hitting it like 3 days. When he's hitting it like 3 days a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, or out of seven days of streaming, he's hitting it about 3 times a stream. We haven't hit that yet, but he's gonna get close, and or he may even actually do it. Once that happens, that shit's gonna die out. And when that happens, then the mad scramble, the fake tipping, all that nonsense, which some of that's already happening now, but I think you'll really start to see that shit drum up and really become far more prominent and pronounced, and probably even more punctual. And that's when you'll know that shit's in a decline, just like it was with Vestry, because it's all predicated on the same shit either which way. Here we go.
Thank you for those who've been coming out to support in droves, you know, and it's everything too. This week it's a good variety. It's people on YouTube with super chats and memberships. It's people on Kick with subs. It's tips. It's everything. That's great. Thank you so much. Now, I think what we should do, all right, let's get this out of the way. This technical stuff that's been going on. Kick has been a mess this week, and I don't know what's causing Kick to have all of these issues, but it seems like there's nothing I can really do about it. I've tried figuring it out, and I don't think that there's anything that I can do to improve the situation, which sucks. I want people who are watching me on Kick to have the best possible experience, okay? I want people who are contributing on Kick to be able to get credit for their contributions as soon as possible. And also, I don't want people to be getting messages or seeing misinformation and saying that I'm live on Kick, and then they go and I'm not there, and they're like, what the hell's going on? All of this stuff is happening this week. And they don't seem to be talking about it, which is weird. I did contact support, so I'll tell you the story now.
Maybe not everybody's dealing with that problem. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny when people are benefiting on no matter what the platform is, he's like, why am I not getting this? What makes other people more special than me? When he's having a problem, he's automatically assuming other people are having the same problem too. It's really weird, and it's really pathetic. It's a real sad variation, or a very sad display of being included or inclusiveness, which doesn't really exist. It's really wild that you're supposedly this unique fucking snowflake, but yet you're so desperate to be with everybody else. Aren't you supposed to be unique? So doesn't that, by your very nature, separate you from the rest of the pack? But then you want to be with everybody too. That's weird. Should really pick a lane.
Of what's been going on. So first off, all this week, you guys have been supporting me on Kick with subs. And the weird part about this is, half the time when you guys are giving, you know, subs to the channel, I'm not seeing them right away. And what I mean by that is, they don't like pop up in the chat, or they're not popping up simultaneously in the chat, or also in, say, the queue that says, here's what's happening on your stream, so you know what, you can shout it out. And it's also not showing up in my revenue area on my Kick dashboard. So if I don't see that end of it, I don't shout it out, because I don't know if it actually happened or not. We've had this issue on Kick where we've seen pop-ups coming through saying, oh, someone gifted so many subs, but then they're not there. All right. So it drives me nuts when that happens, because I don't want to interrupt the stream with shout outs that aren't real. I don't want to count those towards our goal. Sadly, we have people who like to troll. We know this. You know, on YouTube, we got people using VPNs to give out insanely discounted memberships. And I'm wondering if there's a way that...
Interesting. He's called them discounted memberships. I thought they weren't even real. Now he's calling them discounted. Huh. Looks like he's learning.
People have found a way to game the system on Kick. Some people have said, who was it? I believe it was, what's his name? Is it Buckwell? Buckwell. So a day or two ago, Buckwell told me that what's happening is, let's say, for example, you have a debit card and the account has $40 in it.
This isn't anything new. He went through the same thing on Twitch. Stop. This is literally nothing new. This is legitimately nothing new. Holy shit. All right, whatever. Let's let him play Play his hand out.
Okay. Well, you could still try to do like a sub bomb of 10 subs on Kick, which would be $50. But what'll happen is it'll say you gifted 10, but then only the amount that you have for the amount that you can fund with will go through. So he said that he had tried to do a 5 bomb, but he could only afford 4. So actually 4 went through, but it didn't show up. Like pop-ups came up, but it didn't show up in my queue. It didn't show up in my revenue. So I don't know what's going on. Then much later in the day, like the stream had ended. And then hours later, it popped up in my queue and said, oh, it actually was real. So it's frustrating for me because, as you guys know, I want to give you credit for every piece of contribution that you give me. You guys crowdfund my activity. You're the one reason that I'm able to do this for a living, and I want to give you guys the credit you deserve.
And that's pretty sad because that means that he doesn't produce anything. He's completely and utterly, his existence is completely predicated on other people giving him money. He doesn't produce anything of value that he himself can make money off of. So he's completely dependent on other people's generosity or charity. Imagine that. And then what makes it even more ironic is some of these people have even less than what he has. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got people vicariously living through him. People who can't walk, who can't talk, who can't move their limbs, this, that, and the third, and they live through this ass clown. And he himself is a fucking hermit. So it's like he puts himself right there with them. None of them are living, they just exist. And they're just, it's you got two cancer cells, one in a worse position than the other, or in a worse condition than the other, just symbiotically eating off of each other or existing off of each other. That's wild. That's so wild. And people are like, oh, it's parasocial. I would say what DSP does is far worse than parasocial, to be honest.
And it sucks when something like this breaks and it doesn't look like there's any real way that I can control it. You know, it's a Kick issue. All right. So that's already been going on this week. But then another big issue started happening yesterday that really was bad. Let's talk about that. But first, before we do, I want to give out a shout out to Larry Hondo. Yeah, Larry Hondo did 2 super stickers this morning, both for $2. So let's get Harry up on the leaderboard. I want to give him credit because he's doing these right now, and I want to give credit before I forget.
That's weird because usually he would defer that till later on, but now he's so desperate to get people to throw money at him that he'll address whatever fucking little bit of table scraps that are tossed his way just because. Wow, it's pretty pathetic, actually.
So thank you for that, Larry. So now we're up to $4 of support thanks to Larry. Okay.
And then I'm really wondering when he's going to just allow this shit to be automated, because whatever he thinks he's doing or whatever effort he thinks he's exhibiting, really exerting, but let's go with exhibiting and whatnot, that he's exhibiting doesn't mean anything to anybody. Most people would just say, just automate all this shit. It's super easy to do it. It's super convenient to do it. And you're saving yourself the trouble. You know what I'm saying? You could literally be focusing what little energy he expends or exhausts anyway on something else, like bitching. I don't know. Something. Something.
Oh, it's Lenny. Excuse me. Not Larry. Lenny. I don't know why I said Larry. Lenny Hondo. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that, Lenny. Okay. So this has been going on. It's been like 3-4 days. This issue with Kick subs has been going on. Now, all of a sudden, yesterday, another issue happens. So what is it? So for those who don't know the technical aspects of what I do, I co-stream. All right. I have a stream that I send to YouTube, but then I also have a plugin for OBS. That's Open Broadcast Software, the program I use to stream. And this plug.
That's another thing too that I'm really glad he's trying to put some emphasis on. He thinks people are so fucking stupid that's the reason why he can lie about, oh, I can't see, how many viewers I have in my queue, or I can't see exactly how much money I've made this stream, or whatever other excuse he's given over the years. He really says these dumbass fucking blatant lies because he really believes that the mouth drooling morons who follow him have no clue how any of this works, despite the fact that the majority of them are failed content creators or streamers or just current content creators and streamers themselves. So you're lying to a bunch of people who literally know how this works because they've done it themselves. and yet he still has the confidence to basically put his whole pig titties out there and make it work. It's bizarre because there are literally people in his chat that could call him out on it and they don't do it. Womp womp. Guess whatever it takes to belong in the cult, I guess.
Plugin allows me to clone that stream at a different quality and send it to Kick at the same time. So if you watch on YouTube, you can watch at 1440p. If you watch on Kick, you can watch at 1080p, which is the maximum that Kick supports, okay? So I've been doing this for months and months and months, all right? Never really had an issue with it. Now, you know, maybe once in a blue moon, a technical issue, but nothing big at all. Always something easy to figure out or fix. So yesterday, I'm co-streaming, okay, to both sites. And we're basically getting to the end of the first stream, the Clear Obscure Expedition 33 stream. Normally what I do is I say, okay, I got to end. So I'll go over here and I'll say, end the YouTube stream, end the Kick stream, and it just all turns off and we're good. Then what I do is I will do all my stuff with uploading videos, and then I check the Kick stream because the Kick stream should have ended, and then I can update the Kick stream with the new title, the new game, so you guys know what's coming up later in the day, and I can put the time that it's going to start, so people who are joining my Kick channel will say, oh, okay, he's going to be playing this game at 6.
Now, a couple things real fast. I'm just throwing this out there. Let's go ahead and preload my nitpicking, if you will. One, when's the last time he actually updated the software that allows him to dual stream or multi-stream? Two, if he's paid by the hour, would it not be in his benefit to go ahead and keep a stream running, but then just turn around and say, oh, it must have been a malfunction on your end. I didn't do anything wrong. I did everything correct. I'm just throwing it out there. Birdman.
6:45 p.m. Okay, so I do this right after my first stream ends, after like maybe 15 minutes. So I'm doing my normal thing. Okay, I'm ending the streams. I'm working, uploading, and all of that. And as I'm about to set up the Kick stream for the night stream, the new title and game data, it says you're still broadcasting. How could I still be broadcasting? OBS isn't even open on my PC. So just for the sake of argument, I opened OBS again. No, it didn't say I was broadcasting. I wasn't broadcasting anywhere. I wasn't sending any data anywhere. But Kick said my stream was still live. But the weird part about it was there was nothing on the screen. It was like blank. You know, like my offline screen was there, but it said,
wait, so you had your stream, you had your Kick stream dashboard open, but you didn't have OBS open? Huh, okay. All right, fair enough, whatever. Like I said, so he has his browser open. Maybe he's going through the porn of the week or whatever, and whatnot. Page 5, page 6, just like Wings of Redemption do. And maybe he just clicked tabs, and then that's when he saw it. Maybe.
Streaming and number of viewers and all of this. And I'm like, well, this is all screwed up. Like, what is going on here? Right? So obviously this is not correct. Now, I didn't know what to do, and I thought maybe it's just a weird bug. Maybe this thing will fix itself. And when I come back for my late stream tonight, it'll be resolved, right? Because sometimes tech issues just resolve themselves, right?
So then why didn't you just report it to Kick right away and then move on with your day? That's what he should have done.
Right? So I come back for my late stream of Doom the Dark Ages, and it still says it's broadcasting.
I wonder if that was the day he got memed all the hell and shit on that. I still see those Doom fucking journalist memes to this very day. Those things are fucking hilarious, bro. Hilarious. And then on certain platforms, that shit has like millions upon millions of views and shit. Those things are fucking hilarious. Holy shit. He's never gonna live those things down.
I said, uh-oh. So this is not good. What's gonna happen here?
The Mario Kart ones, the Mario Kart World ones are pretty funny too.
Right? So I changed the title and everything, and I actually start streaming this time, Doom. The stream resumes. And I'm like, so it's working. People can see the stream. But then as I checked all of my data, what it is, I have a queue. Excuse me. I have a queue for like partner information. And what it said was, you were still broadcasting on the same stream from this morning. There was no new stream. It was the same stream continuing on. And I said, that's not good. What does that mean? What does that entail? Right? Because typically what happens is when I end a stream, it'll cut off. It's like, okay, that's the end of the stream automatically. And then it takes like maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then it'll update and say, okay, your stream has been validated for the partner program. Here's how long it was. Here's how many viewers you had, and here's what you made on it. Okay. Now the stream was just continuing and not ending. Well, that's not good. What does that mean for the partner program? I don't know what's going on. So about halfway into the Dark Ages stream, I said, guys, what I'm going to do is a test. I finished my first hour of gameplay. I said, I split the video for recording. I'm going to stop broadcasting on Kick, and I'm going to start broadcasting again. And I want to see what happens if I do that. Okay? So I stopped broadcasting. I started again. And the weirdest thing happened. Kick now said I was broadcasting 2 streams at once on the same channel. It said that the original stream from earlier in the day was still running, but that I had started a whole new stream as well. Now, on top of that being bizarre, the viewer count for the Kick stream froze at 12 viewers and did not increase for the rest of the night.
That's hilarious. And yet again, this could have been avoided if he just reported it the first time. But he didn't. So he had a stream, a continuation of an earlier stream going, and he was probably collecting whatever little shekels he was collecting off of it, didn't report it, and then hoped, in air quotes, he hoped it would work itself out the second time around. Now he ain't sat there and fucked himself completely for the day. Or at least so it sounds. Imagine that. That's being a responsible business owner, I guess.
Even though there was definitely more than 12 viewers, actively at any time, we usually have around 20 to 30 chatters. So, you have more than 12 viewers, the chat was moving at the normal rate. So obviously there was some problems going on here, right? I don't know what's happening. So I said, well, there's nothing I can do about it now. I'll just finish the Doom segment. So we did, we played Doom for 2 hours, and I said, all right, guys, I'm going to go offline here, and we'll see what happens. So I went to go offline, and it said, well, now your stream did end, but the original stream from earlier in the day was still going. No, it's not. I'm not broadcasting. Why does it say the stream is still going?
And he's a Kick partner, right? So shouldn't he have someone he can reach out to and go over, this problem with? If this was on Twitch, he would have done it. He'd have reached out to them ASAP. So yeah, I'm thinking he was running some bullshit and it came back to haunt his ass, which, as it usually does with DSP.
To make matters worse, it did finalize the data for the partner program for the second half of the Doom stream, and it said I only had very few viewers, so I made like $1.
Great.
What? I know I had my usual viewership. So the glitch, the view counter glitch that happened that said 12 viewers screwed me over.
No, you screwed yourself over because you could have rectified that after the first stream and you chose not to. Yeah, you deserved exactly what you got. Fuck you. You deserve exactly what you got.
And Kicks basically said, we're going to pay you like $1 for the stream. What the hell? All right. So now I'm going real confused. So I then proceeded, as I was filming the daily wrap, to do a couple tests. What I was trying to do was see if I started and stopped the stream, how Kick would react. And also I tried changing the stream key. I thought, hey, maybe if I change my stream key, it'll actually create like a brand new fresh stream in Kick's system and stop broadcasting this other stream. No matter what I did, nothing worked. Okay?
And see, it's because of scenarios like this, right? Is how I know back in the day when he had the situation with the false copyright claims, he didn't reach out. Like, he did reach out to Machinima and YouTube, or Machinima at the very least, to tell him about the situation or whatever, but they never told him to delete all those videos. He did it on his own. He was panicking that they weren't responding back to him after his initial, he put in the initial issue. He was getting nervous. They weren't responding. He was freaking out, and he just wanted to do away with the problem. And it came back to fuck him over to this very day, to be honest. It's because of scenarios like this. You are, allegedly, a partner with Kick. There's someone that you should be able to speak to. Just reach out to them. And each and every time, he keeps coming up with these reasons or excuses not to do that, and he wants to try to be a big boy and try to figure out everything on his own. while he's progressively making things worse. Imagine that.
Now, the good news is, when I was broadcasting, it did seem like the viewer count did fix itself. So even though that first stream had said, 12 viewers, it jumped and said, now, we're like 60, 70 viewers again. So I was like, all right, at least it seems like that'll be fixed. But if everything keeps adding to this existing stream that's never ending, this is going to be a huge problem. All right. So I didn't know what to do. I ended the stream. I said, I tested for like a half an hour. I couldn't get this to stop happening. So finally I wrote Kick Support. Okay. And I'm going to be honest, because you know I'm an honest guy. Kick Support didn't help me at all. The people who work at Kick Support are line level people who...
He says the same thing about YouTube. He said the same thing about Twitch. He said the same thing about Blip. Fucking useless. He said the same thing when he bitched about Twitter. Holy shit.
Sit probably in a call center style office, and all they do is read form letter responses, or they pass off the information to another department to fix. But for the most part, just like all customer support, all right, Kick Support is there to get you off the line and stop bothering them. Like, literally, I get the feeling that's probably how they're judged, their criteria. Did you get that customer to stop talking to you in the shortest amount of time?
What? What? Okay. You call the customer service, you tell them what the problem is, and then they forward it to whatever department that it needs to go. End of story. Like that, I think that's as point and shoot as that. Now keep in mind everybody's customer service varies. So let's go ahead and put that all out there. But it's amazing how with even the smallest shit, he automatically assumes, because they didn't do things the way he wanted, when he wanted, that everybody's out to fuck everybody. And he wonders why he gets the response from companies and businesses the way he does. And he's hardwired to believe this. You know what I'm saying? Even if that customer service agent did what he wanted right then and there, he would still find a reason to complain. Or he would figure out another reason, or come up with this concept, this convoluted concept on why they were trying to rush him off the phone, or whatever the case may be, so they could just move on and keep their quotas up. Which only makes you think, well, what the fuck were you doing at, Swarovski? Whatever, the helicopter company. Like, it makes you wonder, what the fuck were you doing over there? Because you were nothing more than customer service. Your father tried to go ahead and move you up to something else, and you fucked up, obviously. So that's why they end up fucking firing your ass later. Just in case you didn't know, not too long after he got that ACE certification that he felt was that he was so proud of, and he thought that the value of that ink that was placed on that paper meant so goddamn much, he got fired not too long after he got it. Just something to think about. But it makes you wonder, what the fuck was he doing over there with customer service when he was at that helicopter company? That really makes me want to look back and think at that shit, because DSP usually draws upon his own experiences to make assessments on what other people do. So it makes you think.
Where we could say, that the system was closed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I contacted the Kick Support. I explained the whole situation. At the same time, I also sent one to tech support, because there's two different things you can send logs to. You go to regular support or tech support. So Kick Support immediately responds to me like within 5 minutes and is like, well, can you send us screenshots of what you're talking about? Sure. So I sent a screenshot of the screen showing that this stream was still running, even though I wasn't broadcasting.
That's literally a tech issue. So you're literally wasting the time on people at support. Like, he's literally... Okay. Well, let him play his cards up. He literally wasted their time. If there's two different lines that you can call, each one of them serving a purpose, you having a tech issue, you should have immediately gone there and see if they could get it resolved. And then, well, no, I mean, then I guess he could have, because he's gonna have to go back to customer service anyway, because he's gonna have to see if they can retroactively help him with the view count and the money that he's generated or whatever. I may take the L on that. I might take the L on that now that I think about it. But then again, if he calls customer service, but if he calls tech support first, explains the problem, they resolve it, he could literally ask them to vouch for him and put a ticket in with customer service, and then he could follow. Well, he's still gonna have to follow with them regardless. Now I think about it. Let me think on that, but I'm willing to take that out for right now.
Okay. Then I sent a screenshot of my actual Kick dashboard showing that it said I was streaming live and all of that. And I said, I assure you guys, I'm not streaming. I'm not doing anything. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it says I'm streaming when I'm not. Yeah, I know. People are saying my shirt's not even. Yeah, I don't know.
It's too small, first off.
Like that. I don't know. It's like not even or something. Well, you're just gonna have to deal with it. All right.
You could button it, but it's obviously too small for you. Obviously. Didn't your mother teach you anything? Holy shit.
Make the shirt. Okay. So anyway,
that's kind of the reason why you should probably go to the store, Phil, and try it on instead of just getting shit sent to you from Amazon. Or maybe you went to some like thrift store or whatever to do it, but I find it weird that you didn't try it on before you buy it, but whatever. It's semantics.
Send these screenshots. So now I'm relaxing with my wife. It's late at night. I was in the office. And
now that I think about it, do you think he's the type of person who doesn't wash the clothes that he buys? You know, there are people who do that. But I feel like, you know, you're buying any piece of new clothing, you know what I'm saying, you'd want to wash it first, right? Because, like, if you're trying that shirt on, how many people tried it before you? Unless, you know what I'm saying, the shirt's already, like, in a bag and sealed and shit. And whatever. I don't know. It's a random thought. Just a random thought.
Extra, like, 40 minutes trying to figure this out, and I couldn't. So already I've wasted a whole lot of time on this, and I didn't get anywhere with it. Okay? So then I said, well, what are we going to do? I'm going to wait for support to get back to me. So I spent some time with my wife, and then as I'm about to go to sleep, I checked my email. They'd emailed me back. Okay, so can you now send us screenshots showing us evidence of what you're talking about? I said, that's what I just did. So I came into the office, and I took screenshots again. All right. And I sent them different ones because the thing is, on the mobile app versus the desktop, they look different. It's the same data, but it looks different. So I took a different screenshot. I sent it again. I tried to, like, step by step explain to them how it works. Like, this is how it works. This is the queue. This is where it shows my archive stream. This is when it says if it's running or if it's done or if it's been validated. This is showing if I'm live or not. And this, you know, you got to talk to them like they're a 4-year-old because they don't know anything. They literally just sit in an office and have.
Yeah, he sounds belligerent as shit. So I can understand that it didn't work out the way he wanted to. I can understand that now. You don't talk to people like that, Phil. I mean, but it doesn't matter. You're too old and too fucking stupid to figure that out now, but you don't speak to people like that. Of course, that's if he did that. You know, DSP, he always tries to make himself look like the smartest guy in the room. You know what I'm saying? Even though if he had done this earlier in the day, we may have been able to avoid all this altogether. Semantics.
Have like step-by-step instructions of how to do things. They don't understand the site. So I'm trying to explain to them, here's how it works, right? So then they respond back to me again. Now it's like the middle of the night. And they go, oh, well, we don't see what you're talking about anymore.
The fact that he's still up actually tells you something. So him spending time, him in bed with his wife was a lie. Obviously, he was still downstairs drinking. A few hours later, because, you know, gin o'clock hasn't, or gin happy hour, or Gouty happy hour, I like that better. Gouty happy hour hasn't actually ended yet. You know what I'm saying? Still 4 a.m. somewhere. Hasn't actually fallen through. So he's still up, probably doom scrolling through fucking Detractor Twitter and Kiwi Farms, and then he gets another notification. Think about what he's saying. He said he was in bed with his wife. Then all of a sudden, he gets the message. Then he has to send him all this shit. A couple hours later, he's still up. Saying.
But we do know that yesterday when you were streaming, there were site-wide issues with viewer counts. The viewer counts were glitched across the entire site, and therefore that's going to affect things. Okay. So I said, what do they mean? I don't understand what they're saying. So I came back in here.
I thought they were the idiots who you had to go ahead and handhold with step-by-step instructions and so on and so forth on how their site works. They tell you, yeah, yesterday we had a problem with a viewer glitch site-wide. What? What does that mean? Huh? What, they speak in Greek to you, Phil? Semantics.
Here in the middle of the night, and I checked, it seemed to resolve itself.
And here's the crazy part. DSP already knows that. He already knew that the view counter was glitched, or at least on his stream. He may have not have known site wide, but he already knew that because he just told us. So then they tell him, and then all of a sudden he don't understand. All right.
So finally, it was like ridiculously long. I mean, I had stopped streaming at what, like 10? So this was like maybe like 12, 1 in the morning. So 3+ hours had passed. Now the stream didn't say it was streaming anymore.
Well, if that's the case, then you definitely weren't in bed with Kat. So I guess we, I'm just keep catching your lies, huh? All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Let's go ahead and keep it going.
Okay. But now it had said your stream ended, validated that your stream actually only ran 5 hours rather than like 11, which is what it had said on the page. And you have earned $0 for your stream. Huh? So I wrote back to them and I said, it's great that the stream ended, but it's telling me that I'm not getting any earnings for anything I streamed yesterday. $0.
I mean, you made money in tips. You're just gonna have to just chalk that to the game, I guess. It's only one day, so you know what I'm saying. You're gonna have to just eat that. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he's just gonna have to eat it. Like, you know what I'm saying. He probably made more in tips anyway than he was gonna make, or in contributions, than he was gonna make from his little hourly wage either which way. So, you know what I'm saying. You're kind of crying over spilt milk. Don't get me wrong. You should fight for what's yours, but let's be honest here. It's not that serious.
This is obviously not correct. Can you look into it? And they said, oh, no, it's all correct. You know, our viewer data was wrong and your payment is based on viewer data. So because viewer data is glitched, we can't pay you. Now,
woo, shit. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, whatever.
at the end of the day, it's actually not a big deal. It's one day's revenue. And I didn't have a giant stream yesterday where I had thousands of viewers and I was going to make big bucks or anything.
Yeah, you're never going to have that. So there's no need to bring that up as an example for something that you can't achieve. So let's not worry about that.
And you know what I'm saying? But literally they said, it's our problem. We screwed up. We acknowledged that the view counts were wrong yesterday and we had site bugs. But by the way, because of that, we're not paying you.
I mean, they really can't. They don't have a way of articulating exactly what you made. Do you have screenshots from during your stream that you can be like, hey, this is what I was making. Here's the timestamp. Here's where I was live. Here's my viewer count. That right there can be used as a basis. Can you do that? No. On top of the fact that view botting on Kick is as bad, if not worse, than what it is on Twitch. So maybe you should be careful who you decide to tie your fucking wagon to, Phil.
Think about that for a second. Let me think about
This is what happens when you take out handouts, ladies and gentlemen. There's no such thing as a free lunch.
how well that would hold up in court. Not that it
Now remember, it's not a big deal. It was only one day, but now we talking about court. I see.
matters. Again, and I actually did respond back and I said, listen, I don't care about the lost day. I really don't. It's not a big deal. I'm actually grateful that you guys are even paying me in the partner program. I don't give a shit that I lost a day. But I need to know that this issue won't happen again. Please forward this to your tech team. And that's where
You just spoke to the tech team, Phil, or did you forget that part of your story? Womp womp.
we left it. Now, the entire question here.
Matter of fact, the only way the customer service would even have that information is because the tech team verified that the problem in the first place. Hence the reason why they're telling him. Whatever. Let me stop. Let me stop.
Is, I wonder, did the actual issue on my stream get resolved because I also had emailed tech support? Now, they never responded, but maybe someone in tech support looked at it and said, oh, crap, this is a glitch stream, and just ended it on their end, right? And then it's good. But I don't know. I don't know what actually ended the stream because it was running for over like 12 hours and I couldn't end it. My problem here is I don't know if it's going to happen again. It very well may happen again where it shows that I'm online. I'm not online. There were people that were very confused. They were coming by saying, it says you're live. What are you broadcasting?
Oh,
Wait,
boy.
there's nothing here. People, I guess, had gotten a notification that I was live and thought, oh, he's still live. So they were joining and there was nothing there. Okay. And I do want to say thank you because
You want to thank people for showing up to a dead stream? Yet again, he has no problem with wasting people's time. And now he's gonna actually thank them for them wasting their own time. Imagine that shit. Instead of feeling bad like a decent human being would, whether it's your fault or not, he's gonna sit there and thank them for their validation. It's wild, bro. Holy fuck, that's wild.
Last night, when I was doing all this technical troubleshooting that went nowhere, Ether335 actually gifted 6 subs to the channel while I was doing the troubleshooting, and then someone did a $20 tip. So thank you guys. I mean, I appreciate you. I guess they're just around. And they,
what does that mean? Because Kick, when he was on Twitch, they used to do that too. He had people like Golden Colts who would fucking send donations or send gifted memberships when he wasn't streaming and on his days off. Now that I think about it, go back to the old Tevin streams and you'll see what I'm talking about. So what's the point? What's the difference? I'm sure there's people that do that for him on YouTube as well. I don't know why we're going ahead and seal clapping that shit.
saw that I was having issues and they kind of felt bad or something. So they tossed some support. And I'm like, well, thanks. I mean, obviously, you know, it's not a normal situation. You didn't have to do that, but it was very nice of them to support the stream when I was having this pain in the ass time last night. Okay. So is there a resolution? Well, as I said, as of right now, okay, it says I have over 60 viewers. It says that I'm broadcasting. It says I'm multi-streaming. It seems that everything is being tracked and working properly from what I can see.
You know, maybe if we do a test stream before our main stream, maybe we could avoid some of these problems, but semantics.
But it doesn't necessarily mean anything because at first it looked correct yesterday too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going to happen here. Hopefully it will work and we don't have any errors. If we have errors today, as you saw, I put a pinned message in Kick Chat today, said in advance, you know, I apologize for any technical issues. I hope there's none, but I don't know what's going to happen with that. If people gift subs on Kick, I might not see them and I might not shout them out right away. I might go to end the stream and then it won't end. I don't know. I hope everything works fine, you know? And I mean, it is a bummer that I tried to get help from Kick support and essentially they wouldn't help me. And then they said, oh, by the way, we're also not paying you because of a tech issue on our end.
What does he talk about? It got resolved because they ended the first stream. And yet again, I thought we said that, I thought we agreed that missing one day of $5 or whatever the fuck wasn't going to be that big of a deal. And yet we still bitching and complaining about it. All right, then.
Like, how does that work? Exactly. Right. But again, it's not a big deal. All right. It's not like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. I would have been pissed if that happened like during my marathon last week where I was broadcasting all day and I had tons of views and actually made some.
That actually explains too, now I think about it, why there's more marathons now than usual, because he's just running up the clock on Kick. He's just running the clock up. That's why he doesn't mind doing so many different marathons. Peep game on this shit. You know what I'm saying? In real time, if you guys had seen this back in May, you wouldn't have thought about it that way, or, you know, whatever. Because, you know, you watch it in real time. You know, you go ahead and you check out your SnortBucks video, your memology video, whoever your taste or preference is, your favorite detractor, and then you move on. You see some of this shit in retrospect, and it does kind of fall in line at times.
Decent money on that stream, then I would be upset. But in this case, hopefully it's just the one day, and now they did fix it. And hopefully this is something that they can fix again. Like if it does happen again, I could write them another support log and they can have the tech team stop the stream or whatever.
But I thought they didn't help you. You just said they didn't help you. So now you're hoping that if it does happen again, that you can reach out and do the same thing you did the first time that they didn't help you with, and it'll get resolved, even though they didn't help you resolve anything. Well, I don't know. Maybe he's confused.
But I hope so. You know, I hate technical issues like this because it's not in my control. You know me. I'm the kind of guy, I like to control the situation. I like to be sure that everything that I'm doing is, you know, within the confines of.
Yeah, I've seen your control junkie mentality. Let's go ahead and actually talk about that a little bit, Phil. How's the wife doing? Because, you know, you tried to control her. You couldn't let her go to the gym. You wanted to control the situation with that exercise bike. And now she's as big as Roseanne Barr. And, well, actually, she's almost as big as fucking Chantel. No, not really. Because Nah, not really. Cause Cat's about 350. 350. She probably getting close to that 400 mark. Chantel's at 5. Amber's at 6. So she's not there yet, but she's working her way to it though. She's damn sure speed running it. And she's doing it in a much shorter amount of time than the two of those other ones gained that weight. So yeah, we see where your control junkie shit got you. Just like how the vestry got fucked over because you wanted to control the narrative on that. I can kind of just keep going, to be honest with you. But like, maybe, just maybe, you're really bad at what you do. So maybe you shouldn't be trying to impose your will on things or people. You ever thought about that? I don't know. I want to tell you that maybe one day he'll learn, but I'm really hoping that he don't. It's far more entertaining.
What I want to do, when I want to do it. I like having a set schedule. I like having everything working. I don't like having things out of the realm of control. And
OCD, probably.
it drives me nuts. It actually is still bothering me right now that I don't know how to fix it if it happens again. Like,
that's the reason why you have customer service and tech support. Just throwing it out there.
I don't care if the tech glitch happens, but if I have a way to fix it myself, so that way I don't have to worry and rely on others to fix the shit.
You mean like when your cameras kept glitching and you couldn't fix that, or the way your microphone filters weren't working, and you had to depend on other people to help you with that shit? If you really think about it, you really can't fix jack shit. You're completely and utterly reliant on other people. I don't know why you're trying to put this facade on like you are somehow got the Midas touch when it's it's anything but.
You know what I mean? But I can't. Like, there's nothing I can do, and I don't even know what's caused it. So, I guess we'll see what happens. All right? Hopefully nothing. Let's find out. Apologies that it was so confusing yesterday. And hopefully we don't have this ongoing issue today. Okay? Cool. In the meantime, Lenny Hondo did 4 more super chats. Let's see. 150, $2, 150, 150. So that's the equivalent of 650 right there. So thank you, Lenny. So that means we're going to...
You know, one of the worst things that could happen to DSP, like tomorrow, I'm not wishing this upon him, I just thought I'd put it out there as an observation. If he couldn't talk, like if he legitimately could, for whatever reason, couldn't talk for like 3 or 4 days, a week, or longer, he's fucked. He's legitimately fucked. Because if he went up there and just tried to stream video games without speaking whatsoever, the chats, both chats respectfully, YouTube and Kick will completely overrun him and he won't be able to do anything. I honestly think he'd break down crying if that was the case. Because if you really think about it, his quote-unquote voice is his only weapon. You take that shit away from him and he's done. Sucks to suck. Holy shit. Sucks to suck.
Up to $10 of support, all from...
DSP runs around here saying that he's so oppressed and look at what the detractor trolls, haters, and critics do to me, this, that, and the third. If his body fails him to that degree, he's screwed. He is screwed.
From Lenny. Thank you, Lenny. Now, that being said, okay?
Big ups to them.
That being said,
big ups to them. Shout outs.
FYI, yesterday we had lots of support. We're now at 66 out of 70 goals. And yesterday on this very show, we did...
Matter of fact, what happened to those contributions that came in the middle of the night or whatever when he was not streaming? Where did all those contributions count to? He didn't say anything. It makes you think. $20 and what, 6 gifted memberships? Where'd that money go? What's that, about $45, give or take? Something to think about.
Determined that it will be Subway as the next episode of DSP Tries It. Now, people were coming on the stream yesterday asking me, well, what are you going to get from Subway? Well, we're going to do 3 sandwiches. We're going to do tuna. We're going to do some kind of rotisserie chicken because the last time I had their chicken.
And as if Cat's not big enough already and you both feel the need to eat 3 fucking sandwiches, dude? The fuck? All right, then. Fair enough. fair enough. Just actively just keep fattening her up. What's wrong, Phil? You think she's going to be able to escape? She's not going nowhere, bro.
Chicken. It was that disgusting white meat grilled chicken. It was flavorless and gelatinous. And I want to see what their rotisserie chicken is. And we're going to do a third. I don't know if it'll be steak. I don't know if it'll be like lunch meat. a third sandwich. Okay, so 3 sandwiches to try 3 different things. And I'm going to get one of their snacks. They have either this footlong nachos, Doritos nachos, or footlong cookie. I'm going to get one of those. All right. So,
Wow. Just wow.
when's the last time I took my automobile for an oil change? When the last time it told me it needed one? My car is equipped with the thing that says, it pops up and says time for an oil change.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the BMW back in the day did too. So what?
And then you go do it. I don't know exactly when it was. I don't know when it'll pop up again. But
You don't know what? Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
I'll take you for the oil change when it says to do it.
So what happens if the light? What happens if the indicator for the oil change malfunctions? Then what? You don't keep track of I mean, most people don't keep track of their mileage, but it's probably not a bad thing to do and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Just leave yourself a small notation in your fucking glove compartment or something of like, you know, where your mileage was at the last time you took your fucking oil change. I'm just saying, it doesn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's a minute, if that. But it's like I said, man, you know what I'm saying? Especially with everything computerized in more modern day vehicles, you know what I'm saying? When things get shifty, things get fucking shifty. Oh boy, what a useless person. Holy fuck, Phil.
Yeah. It's funny because some people said, don't they put that sticker on your windshield?
Yeah.
That says when you need to get an oil change.
Well, most places do. It depends on where you go. But yeah, most places do.
Yeah, well, I know what mine says. Car is equipped with an automatic system and will say when it needs to be changed next. That's exactly what the sticker says.
That exited out on that. That sounds like bullshit. That sounds like legit bullshit. To be honest with you, it may say that like that might be somewhere in the fine print, but I'm pretty confident it says, "Hey, this is you know, either you had this much mileage when they changed it, or this is how much mileage you have after the change." I'm pretty sure. And does Phil really come across like someone who would actually look at that? Let's be honest with each other.
You said they wrote that on there. It says car is equipped with system.
They wrote it on there. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't printed. They wrote it on there. Yeah, no, this absolute fucking bullshit.
You know, notification system. So I just wait for my car to tell me.
Wow.
Yeah, no, you have to understand something. Papa Vera just made an interesting point. He says, you know, you've been mentioning all these issues with Kick going on. Sometimes it's the trolls in Kick chat. Sometimes the subs aren't working. Now the streams aren't working. He says, is it really worth all the trouble? It is. No, it really is, because basically, you know, let me put it this.
He can't even give you a reason. He can't give you a reason, and I'll explain why he can't give you a reason. The reason why he thinks it's all worth it is, one, he doesn't want to show. If he leaves Kick, then Kino Casino wins, because they can literally say, yeah, we ran his bitch ass out of here. We own this shit anyway. He only existed because we allowed him to exist, and now he's gone. He can't go back to Twitch, at least not yet, because he has nothing really to go back to until he can get monetization re-enabled. And he's probably not ready to do that yet, or like his oil change, he's waiting for them to send him an email saying, hey, we're monetizing people across the board. You know what I'm saying? Your monetization's available. This is what you can do. Yada, 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 yada. Because he's on that mailing list. And because I'm on that mailing list. So on and so forth. So there's that. He can't leave. He can't leave. His fucking ego won't let him. He leaves Kick. Kino Casino wins. He goes to Twitch. Assholes like me, basically some detractors, trolls, haters, and critics who care about that, they win. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Rather fantastic. And didn't have to throw a single dollar at him to make that happen. He did it to himself.
This way, all right? Because I'm co-streaming on Kick and YouTube, this is one of the major reasons why I've seen a significant increase in income this year. And because of that, that is giving me the flexibility to do the things that I'm doing. Right now, if something breaks, I can buy a replacement. If a new game comes out of the blue, I can buy it. You see, DSP tries it. Yes, I can afford to do DSP tries it sometimes multiple times a week because I'm making extra income through Kick streaming. Yes, I'm making good money via the YouTube streaming and tips, but also the Kick streaming itself as well is significant extra income.
No, the memberships are, not the actual hourly wage itself. He's full of shit.
So, yeah, it is worth me going through all the annoyance.
And it's really not, because when he was on when he was on Twitch, There were people that have been willing to pay for a DSP Tries It. They'd send him $20, $30. Of course, $20 and $30 ain't shit to $1,500, but semantics. There were people who were willing to buy games for him. There were people willing to send him game codes, so on and so forth. So let's not act like these things weren't available to him. It's just the DSP Tries It as a lick he can't give up. You know what I'm saying? $1,500 to eat shitty food, and if he can hit that, if he hits that 3 times a week, for example, three DSP tries that are done in a week, that means what exactly? $4,500 was fucking gathered to make that happen? That's insane. That's insane. 30 goals, you know what I'm saying? And it's $1,500 per 10 goals. That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Who would give that up?
All the stuff that's happening with Kick, because I am making good extra money over there. So no, Sidious, see, that's incorrect. He says that's when Kino was artificially inflating your views and they betrayed you and their supporters. Like, I'm still doing good. I want to make this abundantly clear.
Well, they didn't betray him. He betrayed himself. And remember, he's King Snake. So theoretically, he betrayed them.
Clear. The initial boost that I got last year was absolutely because I was involved with Kino Casino. Now I am actually consistently making more than I used to. That's why everything is good. Do you understand? I'm hitting goals regularly. We're doing special events regularly. I'm able to do it and afford the things I need to do. Things are good right now. Okay? It has nothing to do with Kino Casino. Nothing, because that's been over for months now. And I'm still doing.
And viewership is still at an all-time low. And you have to go ahead and add everything together. Gifted memberships or gifted subs or subs in general on Kick. Then you got to add that to the gifted memberships, the super chats, and the tips over there on YouTube, all to make ends meet with all of this shit. Keep in mind that it gives him the facade of success, but it really isn't. If you look at all the factors that are involved. So whatever.
Good.
And if any one of those 4 factors, 3 or 4 factors, whatever I said, any of that falters, he's fucked. Remember, $150 per stream, or per stream goal, if you will. 10 goals is $1,500. You know what I'm saying? For if he can hit 10 of those in a row, you know what I'm saying, or 100 stream goals, that's 15 grand. That's $15,000. He's definitely never gonna give that shit up. At all. You know what I'm saying? At least until eventually that shit teeters and dries out, which it will eventually. He's not going to get away with that forever.
Sounds like a plan. You don't get why I don't go back to Twitch, because Twitch is a degenerate website run by unprofessional people. It's not dependable. That's a place that's not worth the trouble. It's also the absolute least profitable place to stream. Out of all the places that I could be streaming right now, I make less on Twitch. They take more of a cut of all the profits.
Now, keep in mind, though, too, he wasn't making shit on Twitch anyway. Let's reword that. If you look at the affiliate and partnership thing, you're not making really shit over there anyway. Your best, if you can get an actual contract, that's different. Like, you know, what most of the big streamers have. Affiliate partner it is what it is. You get perks for doing what you're already doing. There ain't no real big money there. You know what I'm saying? When you got a contract, you can actually negotiate shit in and negotiate shit out, or negotiate it down. You know what I mean? That's like real freedom. DSP was never going to have that because he's not good enough for that. That's why he has to nickel and dime them in all these weird ass ways to get to what he got. You know what I mean? So, and it doesn't even really matter, because something for you guys to think about, he's paying more in taxes each and every year. So there's that too. Because it really makes me think, don't get me wrong, he was paying taxes on over there when he was on Twitch too. But that 95-5 split that he's getting off of Kick, keep in mind, that's just more money he's paying the government. You know, DSP hates doing that. So womp womp, he's not really making much more. He's paying a lot more. You know what I'm saying? He's making more just so he can pay a bulk of that shit to the government. Take solace in that if you even care that much. So trust me, this facade that he's putting on right now, that he's doing well, he's rolling in dough, There's still no money in savings. There still isn't a nest egg that's been established. There is no retirement. There is no pension. Trust me, he's got nothing. He's got nothing. But because he lives for today and he's not thinking about tomorrow, it's fitting, to say the very least.
It's just ridiculous. I don't know why anyone streams on that site. At any moment, they can actually say you did something you didn't do, suspend and take down your stream.
That can be done on any site. So that really doesn't matter.
They did it to me. They kicked me out of the partner program, never told me what I actually did wrong, and refused to tell me what it was, so they didn't have
Actually, they did. They said that you were using hateful language. Or was it hateful slurs? It doesn't matter. Well, it kind of does matter because there's a difference between the two. But either way, he knew what he did. He was mad that he couldn't get somebody on the phone and try to talk them down or get them to talk him off the ledge so he could get another chance. That's what he's really mad about.
have to. So how could I, if I actually did something wrong, how could I ever improve to make sure I don't do it again if you didn't act?
But you see how he's not actually accepting what the actual punishment is. Oh, tell me what I did so I don't do it again, and then talk that down and say, oh, well, I didn't understand, or I wasn't fully, sure of that. Please don't punish me. He's mad that he actually has to deal with the punishment. It's not the crime that he committed. He's mad that he has to deal with the punishment.
Actually tell me what I've done wrong and show me evidence of it.
Because how is it that Wings of Redemption don't bitch about that shit? Wings knows exactly what the fuck happened with him. You know what I'm saying? He's been very blunt about that shit. So why is DSP still bitching?
Then they suspend my stream and say that I said the N-word, which I never
Which you did. Which you did.
said. Ever. And then I disputed it, and later in the day they reversed it. It was our mistake. Well, then it's my mistake that I'm streaming on your site is what it is. So I'm gone. And I'm never going back.
But it didn't matter. He was already demonetized at that point anyway, so it really wasn't a thing. And then even then his story isn't true because he's still stuck around for like a month and a half. It was like a month and a half. He's still stuck around seeing if he could make money, if he could survive off of Twitch, just gathering tips. So it womp womp.
That's just irrefutable evidence that there's no...
If you really think about it, if this Mongoloid had went ahead and done multi-streaming back then, between YouTube and Twitch, he may have, I don't think he'd ever gotten back into the partner program, but I think he would have gotten remonetized though. I honestly think that would have happened. But whatever.
No reason to stream on that site that they could treat you like that, and then they take more of your money. They literally take more of your money than any other site. Why would you want to be there?
But remember, Twitch loved him at one time and his streams. So he didn't have a problem with the money cut back then, but he got a problem with it now, when the majority of his money comes from tips anyway. Make of that what you will. Fucking loser. Fucking loser. He didn't mind fucking taking a knee to his master back when times were good, or at least good for his way of thinking, but now he got a problem with it. Now that he's been liberated from that Twitch partnership, now all of a sudden he feels a certain type of way. All right, my guy. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's pull. Where do we pull from this? Holy shit. If he had just called customer service after the first stream, a lot of this probably could have been dealt out and rectified in the story. If he was a bit more, if he showed a bit more due diligence, he probably would have got this. This was, I think, a simple fix. When he noticed it the first time, after the first stream, he should have reported it. Instead, DSP handles things the way DSP usually handles things, is he just sat back and hoped that it clears itself up so he can, minimum effort, minimum time involved, maximum profit. And he got fucked out of $10 or whatever the fuck. He don't make any real money off of that hourly wage anyway. It's all off of gifted memberships. That's where he makes his money out on Kick. He don't make any money otherwise. He don't have the viewership for it. He doesn't have the attention to warrant it. So it is what it is. Yet again, DSP in basic human error, he did it to himself. Womp womp. Womp womp. And yet again, I'm sorry. I still think that he's going to go back to Twitch. Sooner than later, he's going to go back to Twitch. He's going to have no choice because he's either going to somehow get himself thrown out of the partnership, or they're going to have to, or Kick's going to have to remove him because because the viewership, his hourly viewership, is going to drop so low that it's not worth keeping him around. If he doesn't get into a gambling deal over there on Kick, he's going to have to leave either which way. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, will be one of his many justifications of leaving Kick to go back to Twitch. You know what I'm saying? It won't be his only reason, but I think it'll be one of his reasons. But time will tell. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. I'll catch you guys for the next one of these, whenever that may be. Hopefully sooner than later. Holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Snort Report. This has been DSP News. Excuse me. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh yes, a GTG Network and Productions. For the Snort Report, SnortBucks Coffee Company, Hard Snorts Gin and Tonic, and Tim Snortons, I've been your host / anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Oh boy. The thing with the oil change thing is hilarious because you know that shit hurts him. That shit still bothers him to this very day, given what happened with that BMW. But whatever. I've been your host / anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourself, people. Later.